Right, morning. It's showing 100% charge, all charged up. It was showing on the car wing system as not being fully charged, but it is showing 100%. Right, so I've got a long journey today. Got to pop kids to school, to work, pick up something up, and then on down to Exmouth. Okay, here we are again. So I've got a long journey today. Download.
Connect to information center.
And we shall see if today is a better day. You never know. It might very well be. What I'm going to do, I won't film the whole thing. I'll report back in a second if it's gone through okay or if it's failed. Right, it worked. So it got the route fine. It's in the same place as...
Guidance to waypoint 1 in about 400 yards. Turn right.
It started...
About 300 yards.
Yeah.
Turn right.
It started... That, by the way, that's telling me stuff that it doesn't need to tell me. It's quite common with this sat nav.
If possible, make a U-turn.
No, I don't need you to. Anyway, it's worked.
In about 300
So I'll talk over the top of it. So how do I turn it? Can't turn it off. I'll just carry on talking. But quite hard to hear me. So I went exactly the same route as yesterday, and it found it straight away and downloaded it straight away. So that tells me there was something wrong with the server that it's calling up to, which has happened before. And I've run car wings about, and they're saying that there does seem to be issues and blah blah blah. So it's very intermittent, isn't it? Basically, it's not the signal. So I've got to go because the lorry blocking the road now. So the journey today is going to be 166 miles down there, and then obviously the same back. So van blocking the road. So yeah, it's going to be a good test of what the car can actually do, because luckily it's rapid charges all the way down there. So yeah, so that's a good old jaunt. That it's saying 4.5 hours to do that journey. I presume it's taken into the fact I got to charge up. Well, no, that's a journey that would take about, I think, it takes 2 hours in a car. So we're looking at 2.5 hours longer to do the journey than. It doesn't sound right. It does not sound right. I suppose it is about right actually. I mean, an average, you won't do an average of 60 miles an hour, but say you did 120, that's 2 hours. Probably 2.5 hours in a car. 2.5 hours in a car. I might need to leave. I'm leaving a bit too late actually. I just left about 7 o'clock this morning.
In about 400 yards
Right.
at the end of the road.
Okie
turn
dokie.
right.
So yeah, 165 miles down and 65 miles back. So, see how this evolves over the day. Right, set off from work. I have to say, I'm really struggling with this car wing system where you send a map to the thing. I've used it once and it worked fine, but it just doesn't work. So I've loaded it up. I've had an incoming call at the same time, which seemed to completely cancel it out. But never mind, and I don't expect the phone's focusing anymore. But it just doesn't work. So I pressed start 5 minutes ago, and nothing's happening. You can press it again, nothing happens. It just sits there. No idea. Don't know. At the moment, I've got no directions on this at a 60-mile journey. It's a bit of a shame. So I will just, I don't know really, I'll have to pull over in a minute I suppose and spend half an hour or so trying to work out what's going on with it. I might have to ring car wings to ask them why isn't it not doing anything. So sure, very strange. Seems to still not working, so it's just sat there. No route planned on there. The start button doesn't do anything. It highlights it when you press it, but nothing happens. And that's the banner sat from the full length of the car that I'm supposed to be delivering, but I probably won't get there because I haven't got a map with me, and I'm kind of relying on this working. It looked like it was going to work this morning when I put it in. It worked. I just pressed start and it worked. But now I'm want to go there. It's kind of not working anymore. A bit like last night, but it's better than that because I've downloaded the route and I've got the route. It's downloaded to the car, but pressing start does nothing. I wonder if you go to menu, route, cancel route, yes. The whole thing seems to be seized up. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's what's happened. This crashed out somehow. Has anyone ever had this before where your car wings has crashed out? Yes, cancel route. Wow. Yeah, that's not good. You probably can't see it anyway because it's stupid reflection. Yeah, I'm getting more and more disappointed with this car wings as I go on, and the navigation system, and my phone not focusing. Yes. Do I want to cancel route? Yes. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to have to pull over and I think maybe turn the car off, turn it back on again. It's a bit like a computer, this, isn't it? Yeah. I'll pull over, turn the car off and turn it back on again. That's just, as you can see, I'm not me being stupid. I want to cancel the route. Nothing happens. Okay, it's definitely gone completely wrong, but I don't think it's crashed out as a typical crash as in it's frozen. Because with that calculating route thing, if I wanted to cancel the route, I could actually press no, but yes doesn't work. So yes to cancel doesn't work, but to cancel, you sure you want to cancel, no does work. I thought perhaps the length of the journey doesn't like, or the fact that it's downloaded onto the machine doesn't like, so I've just gone to destination and said home, which is 6 miles away, 7 miles away. Nah, it doesn't like that either. It's been sat there calculating now for a good few minutes. So I think probably the only thing is to find a safe place to stop and then try and get it to work. And I need it to work. I need it to work. So I'm going to have to stop my journey and try and figure out what's going on with this, because it's a bit too dangerous to try and work out a glitch whilst you're travelling along. But no, it just sits there doing that. And we're almost near a city, so Gloucester, which has got really, really good reception. So it's not an issue with that. And this is all pre-stored anyway. So nope. There you go. Try and figure it out, I guess. Okay, so we're a few miles on, still calculating. So I'm going to try turning it off. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I wasn't expecting it to be this poor on my first journey. Right, menu, destination, no, back, it's a bit laggy, so go next. Route planner, let's try that again. Calculating, please don't just sit there calculating. Please. Oh, okay, so we've got a route now. Start. Please. Yes, right.
Starting route
there you
guidance to waypoint.
So it would appear that if you, oh dear, if it goes wrong, you need to pull over to the hard shoulder and turn the car off and turn it back on again, just like you would a PC. Oh dear, that's not good, is it really? I don't know if I've ever had a sat nav that does that. So, not exactly a stress-free start that I was kind of hoping for, really, on a nice leisurely drive down south. First problem encountered, one that I've never encountered before. It's never done that. So, but now we're back on track. So excellent. Speak to you later. To explain it a little bit, I'm not sure if I really have gone into it. What I've done is I've gone to U Plus Nissan. I've logged into my account where I usually show you the end of day charge, etc. And on there is a route planner option. You can click on that and you can enter all your waypoints, your start destination, finish destination and waypoints. So I've done that. It also, when you say plan route, it takes into account the charge stations, the rapid charge stations. As far as I know, it's a rapid charge station, so it better be. And it's added those to my route, so it's put 3 of those en route. Now there's more than 3, so I'm fairly confident, because there's about 8 or 9, that it's chosen the ones where I need to recharge. And I presume it's chosen 3 based on the fact that I'm going to go for a full charge rather than a quick 30-minute to 80% on a rapid charge. So that's how this route has come about. It was completely hassle-free, and apart from the fact that it's been let down by pressing the start button on the actual car, but in terms of planning the route, there was none of this hours of planning beforehand trying to work it out. Now, of course, I've just set out on this journey, so it could very well be the case that that's a terrible thing, and you do actually need to spend it manually going through all the charge stations, working it all out. But otherwise, I've used a Nissan system. It doesn't say, you know, it's not going to work out for you. It's just giving me the charge points. So I'm assuming it's going to tell me to go to these charge points. Yes, I know, of course, that if it's a low battery, I need to go to a charge point, but I'm kind of hoping that it's already planned into the route before I get to that stage. Just thinking, oh my goodness, I've only got 20% battery left. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. I've left Nissan to plan my route for me in a very efficient way online.
In about 400 yards, there is a roundabout. Take the second exit.
Second exit. So it's put me in the wrong lane. As you heard yourself, it said stay in the right lane. That's the wrong thing to do, because funny enough, I know where I am at the moment. If I didn't know where I was, if I didn't know where, someone just slammed their brakes on. If I didn't know where I was, I would be staying in the right lane and going across to the second roundabout. Should be wrong. Anyway, I shall not waste any more video or time. Just for your interest's sake, that isn't actually a river, that's a field. This is the weather that we've been having, guys, and these are all fields usually with cows and stuff in them. And you've got a power station over there that powers the Gloucester City. That is, or most of it, that is absolutely flooded out. But I'll try and film it. You can see it through the trees, it's all water. All water. Should be fields. Houses right there. Looks like the sea. It's not. It's just flooded fields, basically. We get a better view now. There we go. It's water running right up to the power station. They've had to put all this extra, as you can probably see, brand new fencing. They've raised it all up. The whole shebang, because of all the flooding that we get now. Something's wrong, isn't it? Something is wrong somewhere. Either we're building on land we shouldn't be building on, which is almost a definite. But is it the climate? Who knows? Okay, people, this is the first time she has ventured onto a motorway. We're entering the M5 going south. So here we go. We're in the thick of it now. We've got 70% battery. This is going to be a nice little test now to see. To see. Hope it goes well. Good thing is, straight into roadworks at 50 miles an hour. Yay! British motorways. Brilliant. 50. Ideal. Okay, coming up to Michael Wood's Services. Now I recognise that name, as in I recognise it from the charge map, so I'm kind of hoping, it says 0.5 miles on the sat nav here. I'm kind of hoping it's going to guide me into that, tell me to turn off, but if it doesn't, I need to be wary of that. I have to keep monitoring my percentage, etc. myself and my brakes. I think it's put it on there, it says rest area on the sat nav. So I'm going to go into Michael Wood anyway. I've got 38% battery left, 26 miles on the gasometer, so it's probably best to anyway. Yeah, I'm not going to risk it. I'll flip the camera around and let you know what I got. Okay, that's where we're at. So I just need to find a charge point now. Michael Wood Services, I just imagine. Ow! Quite a few people have already done this. Fuel coaches, I presume we just follow fuel. I don't know, but we'll find out, won't we? Fuel. Okay, I shall report back in a sec, try and find it. If not, sure, well, I'll stick with it. Presuming charge points are near the exit, are they? Are they around here? I don't know. Let's try and find out. They're not going to be in a BP garage, surely. No, I don't think they are. So I'm going to drive around. I'll turn the camera off and try and find them. There's a charge point over there. I need to get to it somehow. I think I may have missed my chance to get there, to be honest. I shall see. Okay, I've kind of screwed up a little bit because I don't know, did I miss it? I don't know. I think I was filming the signage, but it's sort of in this car park down here. I saw it across there, pretty sure it was an ecotricity charge point. There it is. Right.
You might not be able to reach destination. Press button to check.
There we go. So let's hope. And there she is. Right, Michael Wood going south. Michael Wood Services. Charge recommendation. Let's see what that actually tells us then. So, it's a shame it didn't tell us that before this, in case it wasn't programmed in. Charge station search. Let's have another look. Should say Michael Wood. Let me turn the camera off. No. 19 miles. It's not mentioning this one. Interesting. Perhaps it thinks I've gone past it, does it? I don't know. It's not mentioning this one anyway. Hopefully I can go back to my normal navigation. Back. There we go, I can. Right, let's get this charged up. Okay, that's charging. Initialization. Well, it's not charging yet. It says it's synchronizing the vehicle. Charging. There we go. 39%. Excellent. So there is another leaf pulling up. Brilliant. Okay, as always, can't get into focus. Can I get the focus? There we go. Kind of see what's going on. We've got 80% charge, the fast charger, with 770 miles on the clock. It says I can do another 56. It's a shame we won't charge. Right, I'm no more than 20 minutes into my, well, 15 minutes into my journey. It's taken me into Bristol as a detour. Don't know why. I'm now at Nissan garage in Bristol. A little bit annoying, to be honest. So I've been travelling now. I travelled around Bristol for the last 15 minutes, consuming power just to go to a charge station in Bristol. I don't understand why. It's really, really annoying. This journey's going to take days rather than hours. No wonder it says 4.5 hours for a journey that's supposed to take about an hour and a half, 2.5 hours in a car. Anyway, so I'm at Nissan in Wessex, Nissan in Bristol. Coming to the centre of Bristol, driven round. Sat nav was awful, so it took me. It sort of says turn left, and then you think, is it here? So you go left, and then it's like, oh no, it's not there. No, the picture was there, but it's not actually there. It's the next turning. So then it goes right. You need to go right up to this roundabout. So I'm miles of it away. Anyway, I've come to this place just 15 minutes into my journey after just charging up. So I'm on 52%, 39 miles left. So I'll come and charge here to a measly 80%. And then I'll set off again, I guess. I don't know if I'm going to be stopping another 15 minutes, but at this rate, I'm basically charging up about approximately every 20 minutes. So anyway, I'm pretty peed off, to be honest, because I've come into the centre of Bristol and I did not expect to have to go into the centre of Bristol. I don't know why it's done that. It's actually taking me, it's calling it a waypoint. It's a little bit weird. Why would it take me into, I don't know. I just don't know why it's done that. Perhaps I wasn't supposed to go to Michael Wood, I was supposed to come here. But that's crazy. It's surely not going to take you off the motorway for a 20-minute drive around the centre of a city to go to a Nissan garage. Perhaps it is. Perhaps it's that biased. Well, I suppose it didn't know about the... It didn't know... Yeah, that's what it is. It didn't know about the charge point. The one that's been there for ages. Didn't know about that, did it? Because it didn't know about it, it just takes me to Nissan garages. We're onto something here. I did try and bring up ZapMap, by the way, because I thought I better not trust this thing because it seems very jittery. But of course, if you haven't got a data signal, you can't. There's no way. You can't tell. I thought I'll have a look at ZapMap and I'll just go to the next one on my own accord rather than going to this one. But there's no data signal. There's rubbish mobile phone signal, so I just couldn't bring up the map. I had it loading 15 minutes. I did more or less loading the whole journey until I started filming this, and it still hasn't come up. So, right, okie dokie. Next charge. I have to charge. It's not like I can turn around and go to the next charge station because I've only got 39 miles left. I've been driving around Bristol. So yeah, I'm gonna charge up here. There's no sign of Nissan. I haven't got any signs up to say there's a charge point here. There's nothing at all. So I'm just gonna drive around their car park, I suppose, until I find a charge point. Okay, this is their entrance. There's nothing up to say the charge point. It's just customer parking, disabled parking, garages. There's a leaf there. I don't know, to be honest. I guess. Well, I don't know. I'll go through here. Go through here, maybe. Ow. Right. No, this is just a dead end car park, basically. Right, let me turn around and go into their main, right into their showroom, I suppose. If I can actually not crash this car. It's a very tight car park. Wow. Give it a go anyway, not crashing into that Mercedes. Okay, right, let's might as well just film this. Show how ridiculously awkward everything is. It's such a massive change. I'm driving around the back streets of Bristol, like industrial estate basically. I'm in. Now I'm going to have to go into the main dealership, I guess, to charge up. I don't know. Ugh. It's just not well planned, is it, at all? It's supposed to have a charge station here, I assume. There's a leaf down there. Does that mean there's a charge point down here? I think what I'll do is I'll just... Yes, there is. There's a charge point there. Oh no, it's not. Is it a fast charge? I'll have a look. Okay, so we've got card attached thing, free for Nissan users, charge your vehicle, awesome. And there's the card, which is good. And just place it on there, and we should be able to charge it up with a rapid charge. So I shall give that a go. Right, now I'm charging again. Oh dear, I was only charging 20 minutes ago. Right, so I got 38 miles on the clock. Oh dear. I think what I'm going to have to do is ignore what Nissan says. I'm going to have to drive another 10 minutes out of Bristol and just to get back to where I should be going.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
So I don't know. Do I ignore the sat nav entirely? I mean, honestly, you should see it. It's just terrible. Let me turn it around. Right. Look at that. That's the route. It tipped me on. It's like a... Yeah, man. It's... Whee! Round we go. Oh, dear, I laugh, but I am pretty peed off at this moment in time, to be honest. So, what I'm going to have to do, I think, is ignore anything telling me to go off the motorway, I guess, and go just on charge stations. And what I'll try and do is, I don't know, I'll try and use ZapMap, which doesn't, obviously, is a great tool if you're sat at home and checking things out, but if you're travelling, not such a great tool. Just kind of relying on, well, actually, to be honest, I was hoping that the Nissan carwing system would work. But it doesn't know, it hasn't got in the system where the charge stations are. Michael Wood's not on there, for instance. Well, it wasn't when I was sat there. Perhaps it's because it thought I was gone by Michael Wood services that it doesn't show it. I'm sure it would do, though, if it's behind you. Sure, it doesn't know what's behind you and what's in front of you, particularly. It just knows by radius. Let me have a look at the charge stations, see if I can update the list. Let me check. Okay, nearby stations, let's have a look. So, near current location. And is Michael Wood on there? So you've got Wessex Garages, you've got two of those, one at 0 yards, one at 50 yards. Interesting. So let's go, can we... Avon? No. Temple Gate? No. It should have stored that Michael Wood one. That's it there, surely. It just says M5. That's it. Yeah, so I've travelled 14 miles. Wow. And that's it. I can't edit any of that data as far as I know, unless someone can let me know how you edit that details. I cannot add. I want to put Michael Wood in there. I don't want to put M5. Funny enough, because the M5 is quite long. Yeah, I've travelled 14 miles. Got down to 50% battery. And now I've got to wait again until it charges up, but it's not going to take that long. because it's 60% already and I've only been sat here a couple of minutes. Right, so yeah, that's where I got to. So it recognises that one now, but before that it didn't know that was there. Just gently go down. Yeah, it's a Sainsbury's. No, it doesn't know that's there. Man, so what I'll do is I'll go back, update stations, and then near current location. That'll do. It's 14 miles.
Connect to information
It's not
center.
very far away, is it? Updating charging stations. Worth noting, by the way, I'll quickly spin the camera around while I was doing that. That's Nissan GT-R, beautiful car, but they've parked it. The service department have just literally parked it in a charging bay. So I was actually thinking I want to go and chop up to 100% using that, but obviously it's quite difficult now. So anyway, even though I'm sat here charging. Right, so let's go to menu. Where are we? Nearby stations. Let's have a look. They've updated now. Near current location. Let's see if that list has changed to include the latest ones, because perhaps it's something I've done wrong. I haven't updated my stations properly or something. So let's go down. So, do you know what? I think there is more. But I still can't see. Still can't see it, sorry. It should be there. Could be that. Platinum, Trowbridge, box, whatever that means. Not sure. Could be the same place, is it? Don't know, but that's, anyway, that's, no, it's not. It's a different place, isn't it? That one there is different. No, don't want to do any of that. Right, okay. Okay, so now I still just done it in the list, so I'm going to have to use that map or something. It'll only update on my car if I plug it in somewhere to charge. Won't update anyone else's car, but also doesn't put the proper details in, so it's not much cop really, is it? One more thought on the fact that you've got to keep going to charge stations all the time, because you can't go very far. It's the fact that when you're at these things, people keep saying that, oh, you just pop and have a coffee. Do you know how much coffees cost? Have a look. Coffee and a cake. Starbucks, about £6. So, of course, you're not forced to eat them, but I'll tell you something, it's very difficult to go there every 15-20 minutes and not want to eat something or drink something, and you end up spending £20-30 easily. So you've got to be really, really careful. Plus, they don't really want you sitting there on your laptop. Like the one last night I went to, there's no lounge. I just went to like Burger King or something and didn't have anything to eat, just sat there and used a table to sit down and wait for 30 minutes. So you could spend a fortune popping into these places. So all that gain you got from not having to refuel, you lose in buying food. So yeah, that's one to think of really. And then of course the only benefit you end up with is eco credentials. I suppose you're not burning as much CO2, which is not why I got it. So you need to be quite careful. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and use ZapMap from now on, and hopefully this journey will improve massively, because at the moment it is really going to take 4 hours to 4.5 hours. It's going to be silly. So I shall, I'm at 70% charge now, and I'm going to look at ZapMap and just, I'm just going to stop at all the services, I guess. Stop at the next service. That's what I shall do. And hopefully ZapMap will work, and I'll have a phone signal to be able to check it. Also getting a weird situation where the car's on, so I've unplugged it, I've got out, I've unplugged it, it's been left on like this, but you can't, when you put it into reverse, it just doesn't work. Can't put it to drive, put it to park, put your foot on the brake, reverse, nothing. Park, foot on brake, drive, nothing. So we're going to have to turn it off. Huh? Okay, that must be it now. Let's press the on button again. Okay, rightio, we are now off. It's 11:56 for the record. Hopefully I won't be stopping in 15 minutes time. Okay, classic example. There's a roundabout. Take second exit. There isn't a roundabout. It's just not a roundabout. It's a road. It's a straight road. It just doesn't make any sense, this sat-nav at all. I just don't know.
Take the second exit.
Now there's a roundabout. But not when it said there was. Ah.
Then in about
This thing is
200 yards,
hopeless.
turn left.
Hopeless,
You
hopeless,
might not
hopeless.
be able to reach destination.
Oh
Press
dear.
button to check.
Right, so I've taken what it said was a second exit. It's now saying that's not right. I need to go right out my way.
Fourth exit.
Oh dear. What a nightmare. This is turning into a complete disaster.
Exit 2 on your left.
Right, take
Then
exit
there's a
2.
roundabout.
Okay.
Take the fourth
Rightio.
exit.
Oh dear. I'll follow it. See where it takes me on my merry little road. It's just absolutely hell. I wish I'd filmed that. It's a great example of just how crap this thing is. It's awful. Really, really awful. So what's it telling me to do? I think it's telling me to stay in the right lane, go round a roundabout in the centre of Bristol, come back out along all the side street, I think. Keep it filming, and hopefully it do something completely ridiculous like what it just did to me. This should be so easy. It should be so easy. So many
Take the
things letting this
fourth
thing down.
exit.
It just takes a very, very patient and willing participant in this almost torturous experiment of driving around an electric car. It's a friggin' nightmare so far. I've been on the road now for 2 hours in a petrol car, so I've gone about approximately 40 miles. If I'd have gone in my petrol car, I'd be there now. I'd have arrived. I'd done almost the whole journey. In about another 20 minutes, I'd be there. I've gone nowhere. Basically, I'm still local. Still local. Right, let's try and follow this awful, awful, awful sat-nav. Most horrible, cumbersome sat-nav you've ever known. I've used quite a few sat-nav, to be honest. I've got so used to TomTom being good. I was just going back to this mid-90s sat-nav. It's just... So I think I come off here, just back into the centre. It's on the M32, back into the centre of Bristol. I think that's where it's taking me. I think.
You might not be able
Yeah,
to
all right.
reach
We all know that. You don't need to
destination.
keep
Press
shouting
button
at us
to
about it.
check.
We all know that you're not going to make the destination. It means I'm going to have to go back to the Nissan garage in a minute to get another charge. Going towards Bath. Supposed to go to Exeter. Yeah, it's taking. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know. Oh well, I'm just going to follow it. And I could be here all day, to be honest. I could be in Bristol all day. It's the way it feels. I've come along this road once already. I just don't know what it's playing at really.
You might not be
Oh,
able to reach
for
destination.
goodness
Press
sake.
button to check. In 200 yards, there is a roundabout. Take the first exit.
First exit, right. Don't take me back to the Nissan garage, for goodness sake. I know you're bent on going to the Nissan garage, but this is going to be ridiculous. So I've already been to this roundabout. I've already been here. I'm just hoping it's not going to take me back to the Nissan garage. I haven't, by the way, I've cancelled the route that I transferred from the car, from the computer to the car. I just ditched it. I thought this is ridiculous. It's going to take me to a Nissan garage in the middle of nowhere. So I've cancelled it and just put the postcode in of the first place I'll go to, my first waypoint. So that's what I've done there, but I don't know what this is all about. So I'll turn this off because I can't film the whole journey when I have space. But it's been a disaster up to this moment in time. I've just been travelling around, stuck local for the last 2.5 hours. So pretty sick of it already. Right, I think it's because it was on eco and it just takes you miles and miles and miles out your way. I don't know what's economical about that at all. I've put on fastest route. It looks like to take you back now to where the motorway is. So at least you've got some chance of getting to a charge station rather than having almost no chance to get to a charge station that's any good whatsoever. Complete disaster, this. Complete disaster. I mean, I've been driving around now, I'm down to 75% battery. It's lost 5% battery driving around. It's giving me a guessometer of 55 miles.
In about 400 yards, straight ahead.
I'm just hoping that I can get onto the motorway and get to another charge station to be able to then sort of reset and start off from that charge station on the fastest route. 88 miles it's going to take me. It's an hour and 35 minutes going to this. So just to the first point I'm going to. I'm supposed to be there at lunchtime. It's now 10 past 12. I think I set off about 10 past 10, 10 o'clock. What you need is some sort of comedy music in the background to this trip. Okay, I'm now back round where I was 15 minutes ago. I think that's partly due to the fact that I've taken it off eco
In
route.
50 yards, speed camera.
But anyway, back to where I was 15 minutes ago. Okay, I'm on 36%. It's now 12:35. Guessing me it's saying 26 miles. Sat nav, which I'm pretty much ignoring now. But it says the rest areas, I think that's accurate. 12 miles for the next one. I gotta hope that's got a rapid charge. I think it probably has. From what I saw, it's going to be rapid charges all the way down. Hope it has, because I can't make it to the next one, because the one after that is 35 miles. Scary! I think lessons to be learned are do not use, under any circumstance, eco planning on the sat nav. Set it up for fastest route if you use the motorways. It's just rubbish. Absolutely awful. Try it. See what I mean? It is awful. Takes you all over the place. You just waste a load of miles and time. Fastest route has put me on the route that I should have been on to start with. There's always nonsense about going into Bristol. Just wasted an hour of a journey, so I was following it. So I trusted that. Don't trust it. Don't make the same mistake. The only problem really you got with Zap Map, you can't, well not that I can see on the iPhone anyway, you can't put in you can't say use my current location, you have to know a postcode. Well, I don't know any postcodes for any bit really. I don't know, so I'll have to find out the postcodes. Obviously you can look, as long as you know exactly where you are, you should be able to, by the junctions and stuff. You should be able to just find out where you are and find the closest point. But you really need to do that. You do need to be pulling over, sorting it out. It's only because it's got a complete, I was messed about really this morning. Interest in the car wings things. That's where it all went wrong. I'm hoping that it'll be a journey in 2 halves on the way back up. I'll just do what I want to do, just follow the motorway. And I won't have any issues at all. I'm taking that nonsense from the car wings, making me go to blooming Nissan garages rather than the actual charge points on the motorway. That's the problem. So the stations aren't up to date. Should have been ages ago. I don't know why they're not doing it. And the eco route seems pretty rubbish, the eco planning route. But hopefully this one, 9.2 miles away, has got some fast charging in it. Otherwise I'm going to be crying. I can't make it any further. Please have one. Sedgemoor services coming up. I can't remember if they've got a charge point or not. 18% battery, 12 miles on the gasometer. 19 miles to the next service station. So it may, if they haven't, it might be doable. Might be. Not 100% sure if it's doable. Wow, I'm actually on there. I'm not sure if it's doable or not, to be honest. We'll find out if we've got a charge station. Oh, thank you, Ecotricity. You have. I'm going right, so I'm going to go this way. So, yeah, I've got a charge station, which is good. Thank you, Eco-Trusty. So, I'm on charge. Let's turn the car on a minute. I'm on charge. At 12:50 I started. 28% battery now. It's gone up. 28% battery, so I will actually go and get something to drink now, I think. No, I'm going to hold the urge because it's it's really difficult. I'm just going to sit here and wait until it's fully charged up.
You might not be able to reach destination.
Yeah, I'm going to resist it, getting anything to eat or drink. I'm supposed to be having lunch when I arrive, and I don't want to be spending money on food and drink. So 30% now, so it shouldn't be too long until it's charged up. So I'll just sit here and go online on my laptop and stuff like that for 25 minutes-ish. Have to say that these fast chargers are brilliant. I mean, I've been sat here now, it says 15 minutes, I think it says on the counter. 68% it's charged up to. It's pretty amazing, isn't it? So it's got 45 miles on the guessometer now. My journey to the site that I'm going to is 52 miles until destination, so 80% should get me there easily. But of course I then need to get from there to, but it's in the middle of nowhere, so I need to get from there to another fast charge point. I think there's with these charge points there's an AC and there's a rapid charge, which I presume is DC. And the AC part of it, perhaps you can then plug that in again, can you, once you finish your rapid charge, to then, if you wanted to stay longer, to bring it up to 100%. But presumably with just a 16 amp or 30 amp output, so pretty much like a normal charge at home. But we're at 17 minutes and 70%. So looking good so far, another 10%, I'm ready to go. So it's going to take about, I would have thought, 20 minutes to get to 80. So 20 minutes, not bad, is it? If I'd have popped in and gone to the toilet, I would have been, 5 minutes-ish. And I've actually come off the PC, I've been contacting the guys back at work, they've got questions they've asked me, and I've been replying to them, and 10 minutes went quick like that. So I was probably on the computer 15 minutes anyway, so actual waiting time about 5 minutes. If you went on the computer, went to the toilet, went back, on the computer, which is kind of, in this situation I'm where they need answers from me, etc. at work, or got questions. This is ideal because you stop every 10 minutes. No, you don't really stop every 10 minutes, but you stop. You're not travelling very long, you're travelling about 45 minutes, and then you're stopping. So it's not great, is it? Because it's 45 minutes. It'd be nice to travel an hour on the motorway at 75 miles an hour. Just seems right, but you can't get an hour out of it. Mainly because, of course, this rapid charge is great, but it only takes up to 80%. But my battery bars now are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 battery bars. So it's warming up nicely. So, yeah, okie dokie, I'll just film before I leave, and that'll be that in about 5 minutes at the most. Okay, I've just rung Eco-Trusty asking about how I can top up the charge from the 80% to the 100%. And apparently you just wait till the charge is finished, or you end the charge, whichever you want to do, and then plug it straight back, unplug it all, then plug it all back in again and do it again, and it should know that the car's already had a rapid charge, and therefore to offer it a 22 kilowatt charge it will be. I'm not sure if that's right, but she said 22 kilowatts, and if that's the case, it's not the same as a 16 amp output at home. But that's 4, is it? 3.5? Something like that. Not a lot anyway, so that'll be interesting. I'm going to try that out in a second, see if it works. Okay, 23 minutes till 80% charge. I'm just going to unplug it now and quickly try this other method, see what it does. It did not like that. If I could actually get it to focus, which it's going to refuse to do, isn't it? There we go. Incompatible battery. That's what I've got. So I've taken it out, plugged it straight back in again. I presume that's because it's overcharged. Don't know. Okay, so I just left that error. I've just cleared the error and put it back to how it was. I'm not going to mess around any longer because I'm already late as it is. But I don't think that actually works. So I don't think what she said is quite correct. It might just have to use the AC cable. I don't know. But I will try. Laters. Okay, it's showing us 52 miles available. I've just lost 3%. I've gone next to nowhere at all. Literally just come off the motorway. So it's gone down 3%. 52 miles on the guessometer, and the journey is 51 miles away. Okay, so I'm going to have another charge, even if it's for 5 minutes, before I get there. I'm just going to have to. Otherwise I can get there and I can't get away from there again. So yeah, I'm going to have to stop at the next services, I think. Charge up there, and then go. It's a shame. I thought I was going to make it there and to the next one, but it looks like I have to. So I've got to go to the site I'm going to, drop this massive 22-foot banner off, and then go on to my friend's house, Neil, in Exmouth. Big bump. But what I was hoping to just go to the site, then go on, drop it off, carry on then to the next charge station, but I'm not going to be able to do that. I won't have enough battery to do it, so I think I have to stop again before I get to this site. This will be the fourth charge. Charge up, then I should be able to get there, drop it off, then get down to his house. So, okie dokie. Okie dokie. So I'm going to have to pull in again. It's 1:35, so I've been travelling approximately 1:36. 30 minutes. Battery's at 30%. 16 miles left on the guessometer. Hopefully this will be the final stop before things go wrong. I'm not really sure again where this is. I'll try and find a charge station basically, see if I can locate it. Okay, there we are. Now we're charging up. We're looking at, let's have a look here. Okay, I was going to tell you what it's not seems to be working. Let's try again. Right, there we go. Okay, so I was on, I've literally just started.
Proceed
31%,
you might
18 on the
not be able to reach
guessometer,
destination.
so 31%, brilliant. So get this up to 80%. Time now is 1:40. We shall see how long this takes. Messing about a little while on my phone and stuff. I look up, I don't think it's charging. I can't see the blue lights reflecting off the windscreen. So I'm going to go and take a look, because that doesn't, it's not changing at all. I'll jump out and have a look. Try again. Try again. Okay, the answer to the question is nope, there's a problem. Charged a little tiny little bit and now it's just stopped. So I need to ring Ecotricity and ask them what is going on. Okay, so I'm on the phone, so I can't film, so I'm filming using my computer instead. I've rung Ecotricity, I'm actually on hold and I've been now for a couple of minutes. This could be the spanner in the works. Don't know.
We're sorry that you've had to wait so long. If you'd rather leave us a message so that we can call you back, please press 1. Alternatively, please bear with us and we'll get someone to you as soon as we can. We're sorry that you've had to wait so long. If you'd rather leave us a message so that we can call you back, please press 1.
Try and ring them back, I think.
Please bear with us and we'll get someone to you as soon as we can.
Back and see how I go. It's not going well at this point. It's sort of come to a bit of a grinding halt, but we will see where this goes. Right, I've gone back out there, I couldn't get hold of them, so I've disconnected it all for the third time, connected it back up again, and now it appears to be working again. I don't know how I'd even tell that it's not working, I wouldn't have known. The blue lights are flashing on the front, I can see them now reflecting off the glass, so there's no beeps or anything when it failed. I just looked up after playing around on the phone 5 minutes answering emails and noticed that nothing was happening. Or it looked like it was on the same percentage as it was 5 minutes ago. So That's wasted a little bit of time. I'm not sure why that's failed, but right, seems to be charging now. I shall obviously film again if it stops charging again, if I notice. Interesting one. It's charged to 84 and it's still going. You can see the lights reflecting, but 84%. So I should just keep it like this until it stops charging, I presume. It's good, isn't it? I like that. No, it's still going. Thought the blue lights had stopped for a minute. Still going. The battery temperature looks fairly, I can shadow the sun. It's fairly high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. Presume is okay. Okay, it's at 89% now, and we've got, in terms of battery bars, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 battery bars. I wonder if it'll stop at 90%. Okay. It's climbing up. So, interesting. The battery is getting pretty warm. 2 more bars on that battery and it hit that red line, which I'm not sure if it's supposed to do that. But all I've done is plugged it in, swiped the card, job done, like I've done on the other ones. So we'll see what it goes up to, I guess. I'm half thinking that it's not now rapid charging. I pressed a button, which is the first time I've done this, and it's the only thing I can think is different. Accidentally, I pressed it as standard charge, and it seemed to rapid charge from my battery being dead up to 80, it seemed almost like 85%, and it seems to slow down considerably now to, I mean, it's on 91% now. I'm going to unplug it, but I think that's what the difference is. Perhaps a standard charge button creates a rapid charge up to 80% and then a standard charge thereafter. I don't know, up to 100%. Anyway, I haven't got time, so I'm going to have to stop at 91%. Yes, that is the answer. I just looked on the machine, it's outputting a completely different rate, so that's the answer to that. That's quite good, that is. You could stay longer inside and get a full charge. That's how you do that. Found that out. I'm starting off with 91% battery now, which is the most on this journey I've started off with. That's a good idea, actually. And I think that way I could have avoided one of those stops, possibly. At the part of ignoring the complete rubbish to start with, the disaster that was the start of this journey. I think I could have avoided one, because I would have probably stayed at the other place longer rather than stopping off more and getting to 80%. I would have stayed at 90%, I think. But the guessometer is saying 52 miles. And that's because it's motorways, so it's doesn't have hammer it on the motorways, which we all know they're not designed really to do. But yep, so 90%, 52 miles on the guessometer. Excellent. I'm glad I found out that I could actually charge to 100% if I wanted to. You'd think it would give the battery time to cool as well, but it's got quite warm. It's still on 8 bars. So just to go back over that, actually, to make it clear, what happened there was I pressed a button I didn't mean to press, which was standard charge, and that seemed to rapid charge, as I said, from my current battery position up to 80%, and then gradually slow down. Just so you know, so if you're travelling out and it's the first time you've done this like me, if you want 100% charge, you need to press that standard charge button. That way you'll get the fast charge up to 80, then slowly up to 90, 95, and then presumably even slower up to 100. If you want a quick charge, which is what I wanted, and the result of me not getting to the 80%, which is what I wanted, I waited around for another 15-20 minutes, which I haven't got that time to waste. So I wanted a quick charge then up to 80, didn't want more. Then you need to just do the quick charge only, the rapid charge, sorry, only. That's the only way you can do that. Just don't press a standard charge button. Just press just plug it in and follow the on-street instructions and say start charging. But so there's 2 modes. Well, it's actually 3, because you can put the standard. They all seem to have a standard cable as well. But you've got the rapid charge cable. You can rapid charge it, or you can do a standard charge, which rapid charges and tops it off to 100% with a standard charge. Hope that helps, and I hope it's vaguely clear, because it's all new to me, and it's quite stressful finding it all out. And it's coming together though, coming together piece by piece. There we are, some of the rolling countryside I am going through. Oh, ruined by the iPhone 5 camera making horrible noises. But this is the rolling countryside. It's quite nice. Bit distorted by purple lines, but this is where I'm driving to. which is what I'm at the moment. This is the one where it's a complete unknown because I'm in the middle of nowhere really. You can see it's all lanes like this, tight corners, with all that sort of shenanigans. So really got to watch the driving here and make sure I get the most out of the car so I can then get to the next fast charge station, which shouldn't be that far away, but it's going to be fairly close shave, I would have thought. Okay, about to leave. It's 4 minutes past, and 28%, 26 miles. Okay, so I've got to go to a charge station, and I will have a look. I'm pretty sure one. Oh dear, there's one on Zap Map, so I shall use that to find out where I've got to go. Here we are, Motor Services. Good job we got here, and it is here. I was getting worried for a second. Let me turn this all on. So, 26. A problem I've talked about in previous episodes where turning the car on and having the USB plugged in turns off the video camera. I'd never done it mid-film before though. Right, so we're 21 miles, 23%. This is now charging up. On the rapid charger. I've done what I did before and press the standard charge and then press charge vehicle. So I guess we'll see what happens. I'm going to go away, I need to go to the toilet and stuff like that, and I'll leave it charging up. Good job. I'm glad it's okay to charge. Here's the charge station that I am currently at. It's tipping down with rain. Currently at this one. Pinot, I think it's called, or something like that. So she's all connected up, and we're at. It's been on 10 minutes. We got a 48% charge. Yeah, it's gone down. It was much higher than that. It's on 82 amp now, 81 amp. So. Okay, I'm at 86% charge, and it's quite some time since I stopped here. Probably about 45 minutes, is it? 40 minutes, something like that. So I am just about to go. I can't wait any longer. I need to get going. So off I go to unplug it. As you can see, some real nice weather. Yeah. We're on our way now on the old motorway. So hopefully all will be well. We've got another 104 miles to go. Charges probably. Okay, I've got a decision to make. I've got a services in 5 miles and I've got a services in 15 miles. So I'm going to go for the 15 mile one because if I go for the 5 mile one, that 5 miles, the one in 5 miles, that 10 miles between the two means I won't get home, so I need to go to the furthest one possible because obviously I run out of charge stations at the end of the M5, or when I come off the M5. I need to get home basically on my last charge at a fast charger. So I'm going to go for, and you get approximately 45 to 50 miles off a charge when doing motorway driving, about 80% to 85%. So I'm going to miss Bridgewater services, which are just passing me now. I'm going to go for the 15 mile mark. I hope that is the right decision. It's pretty much the only real decision I've got. I suppose I could go to both, but yeah, see how this pans out. I've been travelling now on the road, it's 2146, so it'll be coming up for an hour on the motorway, which would be good. I'm actually trying to keep, it's the first time not concentrating. I've been keeping it at 70 almost continuously or under. So between 65 and 71 I've been keeping it at for the last 50 minutes solid. So it's done me quite well, to be honest. So that sort of 70 miles an hour doesn't kill the battery as much as 80 or 85, so it's very good. Okay, so the warnings are going off. Hopefully, all being well, I will be turning off in a minute to a charge point. If not, I'm in problems. But I'm pretty sure if it's been like it has been so far, it'll be fine. Turn off, charge up, job done. That's what you want to see, isn't it? That is what you want to see. Definitely is what you want to see when you are faced with that on a motorway. It's all worked flawlessly so far, so I shall plug it in. So 960 miles, let me tally that back up, and 21:59. I think that's almost an hour's worth of driving. I think that's almost an hour's worth of driving. I'm not sure how many miles that equates to, but I shall go and find out and do another little video. Okay, so the total miles travelled was 51 miles from my last charge point, and I was on the road for 50 minutes. Or maybe 51 minutes. So that's an average of 60 miles an hour. Which is interesting, going by that. Surprising what speed you're not think you're doing, because I mean, according to Speedo, I was doing, I kept it between, well, basically I kept it at 70 the whole time. So it must be that starting off position when you start from 0 all the way to the motorway junction, and then obviously pulling off and all that sort of business brings it down to an average of 60 miles an hour. So that's 50 miles. That's more like it though. That's more than I've done. It's not great, is it? But it's 50 minutes of driving, solid driving on the motorway. So before I was getting about 40 minutes on the way down, so I must be doing something right on the way back. I think it's just slowing it down a little bit. But this, as I said earlier on in the day, I really wanted this second half of the, i.e. the return journey, to be a completely different story to the stresses and strains I had on the way down. And so far, it's fine. I mean, on my second, yeah, I'm on my second charge on the way, and it should be my second. I'm trying to make it my final one. I mean, I had 10 miles left on the car anyway, so I know I could have done 60 miles on the motorway, approximately, maybe a little bit more. But there's not a station, it's a charge station anywhere near. So, yeah, so going well so far. This is a risky one because I think this is the one where I need to. This is the last stop. And then, of course, I run out of charge stations. I go onto the rural side of the journey. But it's not miles per gallon, is it? But my amount of miles I can do, because I'll be doing much lower speed, should increase quite drastically. So hopefully I'll get home on this charge. I'm really hoping so. And obviously, if I make any other decisions on the way, I shall film it and the reasons why, etc. But this. I mean, that 51 miles isn't bad, considering it was sunny on the way down and nice and dry, and I'm driving back with the headlights on, the wipers going like mad. I got to put the heating on every now and again. I have been starting to switch it off, but yeah. So everything's on at the moment because it's night time and it's raining and it's windy. So I've also noticed with the fast chargers, if you press standard charge, it does do a rapid charge up to 80%, but it's much slower. I think it seems that I'm getting tired, so maybe I'm not right, but it seems as though if you don't press that standard charge and just use a rapid charge, is the 0 to 80% is much quicker. So what I'm going to do is, perhaps what she was saying earlier on in the day this morning was, the lady from Ecotricity, perhaps she was saying that I need to then wait till it finish the 80%, let it stop, unplug everything, plug it back in, which I'm going to try and do it without unplugging it all. Then press standard start charge, then press charge, and then see what happens. I think then it'll pick up. It's because it's already on 44%. We've only been sat here 8 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. So it's just 45% now. So it's jumping up pretty quickly. Okay, took 26 minutes, 27 minutes to get to 80%. It's still flashing away on the dash there, so I don't know if it's going to turn off or not. I was going to go out and when it turned off at 80%, go out and change it to a standard charge. Perhaps all of them do it as a standard charge after it gets to 80%, I don't know. The first one I did didn't. No, it's 81, yes, they're still charging. Okay, so it's reverted automatically to a standard charge. That's quite good. Okay, I was going to go inside and throw a bit of rubbish out and stuff like that when it got to 80%. Interested to note that the predictions on here, when it's 54 miles to home, the charge recommendations show that you won't get there. But that's because it was saying that when I was on 10 miles, and now it's 61. So they're not actually, it's not like a live link. Presumably if I turn the car off and start it up again, right, I suppose. Let's turn it all off. And then turn it all on. 61 miles. Let's see if it calibrates it and then it becomes not a problem anymore. Unless it still sees it as a problem, I suppose. So I should bring up all navigation.
Proceed to the highlighted route.
Right, okay, yeah, it knows then, so it needs a reset. And so it then calibrates. It's a shame it doesn't do it seamlessly and sort of intelligently, because that would be fairly easy, wouldn't it, to feed off and keep refreshing. Perhaps it takes too much power though or something. Cool, 82%. Rightio, I'm going to go inside now and I might come out hopefully with about 90 odd percent. So I need to push this charge really. I need to spend a little bit longer here intentionally, past the 80% that most guys do, because this is going. I want to make this my last charge really. I really do, and I want to get home. I don't want to be stuck a couple of miles away from home either. So yep, I'm going to go and mess around a bit inside now, and come out and hopefully it'll be up a bit more. So this is what it's charging at. It's charging in 33 amps, which is quite cool. So it's taking it past the, it's not 60 now, like it would be at home. So that's for the rapid charge point of the car. See there? It's charging. It is also my rapid charge. Okay, heading out on 86% battery. Couldn't really hang around much more. We've got 64 miles. It's only 52 to home, so yeah, so shouldn't really be an issue. 53, sorry, to home. So left it that time. That's where we're at. So rightio, hopefully we'll make it back home. And that being the last charge, so just 3 charges if we get home. Okay people, 999 miles in 2 weeks today. I got this leaf, so let's watch it tick over to 1,000 miles, shall we? A long time, doesn't it? Do a mile. Travelling 55 miles an hour. I think now it's going to be any second now, because 54 seconds has passed. There we go. 1,000 miles, 2 weeks. That's a test and a dive into the deep end of electric car driving. Foggy windscreen. A thought that I want to share before I forget is, I keep meaning to do it, is that at the moment it's not an issue going to these charge points and charging up, but it's going to be, if it gets busy, it's going to be, they're going to have to install like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 charge stations really. I mean, all the ones I went to, there's only one rapid charge point there. And the first one I went to, a guy turned up with his wife and he had to wait for me to finish. In fact, he arrived my complete quiz is almost as my charger finished, but even so, that's just me charging and one other turning up within the 40 minutes that I was there, because of the length of the time it takes to get a charge. So unless that increases to about 2 or 3 minutes or 5 minutes, then got a bit of a problem if these get popular, because there's just nowhere near enough chargers. We'd all be hanging around. I mean, if there's 5 people there, it'd be hopeless. We're talking 5 times 40 minutes. If they didn't want quite a full charge, they wanted an 85% charge kind of thing. So yeah, and they're not going to want to put, well, you wouldn't think the service station is going to want to put 8 of the things alongside each other and take up 8 parking spaces. Maybe they would, maybe the technology would change, you know, it would work out. But as it is currently, if it suddenly got busy, for instance, it wouldn't hold up the infrastructure that I've seen. It's brilliant. It is brilliant to have it, and you know, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying that if there was 3 turning up at the same time, that's a bit of a hassle. Unless you're the first one. Okay, home sweet home at 11:45 in the evening. So that paid off. Oh, I had 6%. So I've probably got, once that goes dead, I've done 6 miles. I've probably got about another 15 miles on it anyway. I don't think it's as bad as it looks. But yeah, it's excellent. I had the heating on all the way back, air conditioning on every now and again. I put it on to clear the windscreen. So yeah, 1,015 miles done. I'll do a quick roundup in a second. Right, that's the charge remaining at the end of that very long day. 9%, 4 miles. Lovely. Got back perfectly. So I'm just going to try and work out how many miles I've probably done today, and the timings as well. And I will also do a roundup, as it's 2 weeks and 1,000 miles. Okay, the journey down in a car, a normal petrol car, should have taken 2 hours and 55 minutes, so 3 hours, excluding any stops. So I'm going to go and now look to see how long it took me to travel in the electric car, and I know I went miles out of my way on the way down. And of course the same trip on the way back, so it should be 3 hours down, 3 hours up, 6 hours of driving. So I will have a look at the timings and get back to you. Okie dokie, I've done the figures, taken quite a bit of working out to get the exact figures so they're accurate, obviously. There's no point in having rubbish. Right, so let's start with the original route, which went horribly wrong, as you've probably seen, using the Nissan mapping system. I've got an overlay of that, which I'll put in place now. As you can see on this overlay, that is a screenshot of, or a photo of the screen of the route that Nissan proposed. That route is 175.82 miles. Now, if I get rid of that screenshot, and now I'll put up the Google Maps overlay. As you can see in the Google Maps overlay, it is 137 miles, not 175. That's because of the diversion. That stupid system told me to go on because it doesn't know about the charge points. And Car Wings planning didn't know about the eco-tricity charge points on the motorway, so it was taking me all over the place. It was 30, so it took me 39 more miles out of my way, which is crazy. So that was complete nonsense. I won't be using that probably ever again. That's a disaster. 39 miles in an electric car out of your way. Okay, so that's done. So that was on the way down. Right, so that's those figures done. In terms of travel time, I'm going to ignore the way down. It's on the way back up. It should be 111 miles. The route I did was the same as Google Maps, so 111 miles back up. Yes, because I didn't go to the site, I went straight from my friend's house, straight home. That's 111 miles. In a car, it should have taken 2 hours and 4 minutes. It took me, looking at the video evidence, it took me 3 hours and 40 minutes. So it took me an hour and 36 minutes longer to do the journey than it would have done in a petrol car if you didn't stop in a petrol car at all. So, and you would have only stopped once for 20 minutes. So it's an hour and 36 minutes longer than a petrol car. And that incorporates the 3 stops basically that I did. So yeah, and in total I did 286 miles. Let me just work that out again. I haven't got a calculator. So I started on 729 miles and I finished on 1,015. I think that equals 286 miles. So I did 286 miles basically today in the Leaf. In terms of charging, absolutely no issues whatsoever. So that point's fine. But if you want to travel 286 miles for every, say it's 300 miles, and say it's an hour 40. So for every 300 miles you travel, you're going to be an hour 40 slower than a petrol car. But it'll be essentially free fuel. So yes, I think for the same trip it would have cost me petrol. What would it cost petrol? I don't know. It would cost me £45, something like that. So, yeah, it's quite good. It's good from that point of view. The hassle on the way down was a pain, but that was the learning curve. Back up was how it should have been on the way down, so that was spot on. Now, my 2-week review of the Nissan Leaf is that it's an excellent car to drive in terms of handling. The way it accelerates is brilliant fun. It is absolutely brilliant. The range is nowhere near enough. It's a massive letdown. It just should be 124 miles on the newest model. Is the advertised, and that's the figure gets thrown around. And I'm 70 miles. If you go on a motorway, 45, 50. You can push it more if you travel under 70. If you travel 70, you're looking at about 50 miles. In non-rainy conditions or rainy conditions I was in as well at the same time, it's about the same, 50, 55 miles. So it's okay if there's charge points if you're willing to spend the time charging it up. I think you've got to be prepared to do the legwork on this in terms of distance. If you're travelling around like I do almost all the time to and from work, it's fine. It's not an issue. If you're talking about doing long journeys like this, you won't want to do this every day. It will get easier in terms of just plugging in and going, but you're going to be wasting your hour and 40 minutes for every 300 miles. So it's not worlds away, but it's quite a long time, isn't it, to be wasting. So if you're doing 250 miles to work and 150 miles back again, or I don't know why you'd be doing that sort of mileage, but if you were, you'd be wasting an hour and 40 minutes each day. Excuse me, I'm very tired. It's 1:15 in the morning. I need to wrap this up really. So, yep, done 1,000 miles in it now. It's actually, I've never run it out of battery, so that says a lot really. But the stress in maintaining the fact that you don't run out of battery is quite high. It's also very intensive to drive because you've got to, if you're doing any distance, you've got to constantly monitor all the facts and figures and work out what energy you're consuming, whether or not you should be cold at this point in time by turning the heating off, all that on a long journey. Local journeys, not an issue. If you know you're just going to shoot about small journeys. But as I've proven in the previous episodes, they soon rack up, the miles soon start piling up and you realise, hang on a minute, I want to get home. So that's always hanging over your head. So my number one criticism of the Nissan Leaf newest model 2013 is the range is about It's not quite half of what they say, but it is 70 miles, which is okay for a lot of people. But that 70 miles is full of watching your back, as it were, making sure you're doing exactly the right things, so you don't screw yourself over. Because that's only 35 miles somewhere and 35 miles back again. And when you think of it like that, it's not that great. But I've managed to maintain it for the first 1,000 miles. And it does get slightly easier once we've got charge points installed. And we will be all good. So I'm really sorry this is a massive long episode. But for those of you who enjoyed the whole thing and the whole experience, thank you very much. And I hope it helps someone. Or more than one person, really. It's been left like that. The frustration, everything's been shown. You know, I have thought about leaving it all out, but it's just as it is. It's raw and unedited. It's just all the footage I've taken. I just put it into a movie editor and put it up. So take it or leave it. But it is genuine, and that is the experience I had for travelling at 286 miles in a day, doing some general tasks. So there we go. Right. This will probably be the longest episode ever unless I travel from Land's End to John O'Groats, which I'm thinking of doing, which probably won't do after today. Short journeys it will be. Good night.